Finally it worked, I think. Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to Gemini season. We were having some technical difficulties in true Mercury retrograde fashion, which is in true Gemini fashion. Alright? But I think we're good. I think we're live. So thank you all for being here. I will know that we're live when I see your comments, but you guys know I don't wait for the comments, chat. I just talk. Anyway, we're in Gemini season. Welcome to Gemini season. Thank you all for being here. I am Lamarr Townsend Tarot. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic, an energy channeler, a tarot reader, and an astrologer. And every month I come live on my YouTube channel and I talk about the new season that we're in. The current season that we're in is Gemini season, and it's very exciting. Happy birthday to my Geminis out there. I have a lot of Geminis in my family. So happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Geminis. Happy birthday to you. The only thing I'm missing is my Marilyn Monroe happy birthday, Mr. President dress, right? That's the only thing I'm missing. I do believe that Marilyn Monroe was a Gemini, which is very interesting because currently we're in the era of Kim Kardashian allegedly wearing the dress of Marilyn Monroe. So that's very interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. It's not unlike a Gemini to create history, alright? Irregardless, it's not unlike a Gemini to be timeless like a Marilyn Monroe, like a Kanye West, things of this nature. So there's so many amazing Gemini people out there, creative Gemini people out there. Now, what's interesting is that Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Hi, Atia. Thank you for being here. What's interesting is that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so Mercury rules communication, intellect, the mind. It also does rule your young childhood to young adult years. It also, of course, does rule your work, your job, your approach to your health, your approach to your daily routine. Mercury, also does rule your sense of self-improvement. All right? So when we speak of Gemini, there's so much more to Gemini than the stereotypical things we think about. And I hope in this reading that we, are able to bring things up about Gemini that help people to get more perspective on them, because I do feel like Geminis are overlooked, are misunderstood. And personally, I love Gemini energy. I know Geminis can be an acquired taste or misunderstood often, but I think that's because I have a Libra moon. So anyways, like I was saying, Gemini rules communication, intellect, the mind. So what better way to communicate and start the video off than communicate with Spirit and get a message from Spirit from the Oracle card. Alright, so let's see what message Spirit has for us to start Gemini season off with. Let's see. Hi everyone, thank you all for being here. Hi Raisha, hi Maria Crystal Mello. Do Taurus and Gemini get along? Yes, they can. Gemini can be very adaptable. Taurus is all about money, providing stability, things of that nature. So yeah, especially if they have good mental connection. Yeah, I got the card, you guys. I'm not gonna look at it. Black Love says, "Hey Lamarr, my birthday is tomorrow, May 26th. Happy birthday." My mom is a Gemini. She's June 6th. So happy birthday to my mom. Cooley says, "Hello from Gemini, Moon, and Mars." Yes. Hi, the Kinky Witch. Yes, it's your season. Hi, Black Love. Speaking of which, make sure you guys check out my second channel on YouTube. It is Lamarr Does Life, where I think the link should be in the description box in the comment section below. I talk about I vlog. I talk about more lifestyle topics, vlog topics, stuff like that, day-to-day stuff. Lately, I've been on a health kick with my green drinks, which is very Gemini. Once again, very Mercury, right? Mercury is health, so physical health is important. Now, I do have to say that I am a Virgo rising, so Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So I'm kind of like adjacent, I think, to Gemini energy, just by nature, with my Libra moon and Virgo rising. But anyways, the card is Talk to Your Angels. Interesting, when Gemini is about communication. Here we have talk to your angels. How many of you take time throughout your day on a daily basis to talk to your angels? I think, with Gemini season being big about communication and Mercury being big about communication, I think it's so easy to only think about that which we're communicating with, based on what we can only see or feel or touch or hear. But we're communicating also with the spiritual realm on a daily basis, with our thoughts, with the words we think, with the communication we have with ourselves. How many of us are so rude to ourselves sometimes? I have to be honest, I'm better with it lately. I do have to be honest with you. I'm way better with it lately. But there was a time where I probably was not the nicest friend to myself, right? I think some of us forget that inner communication that we have that is just as relevant as the communication that we project out into the world. Anyways, it says, instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. So this is the message for Gemini season. How many of my Geminis out there are worriers or worry warts? All right. I know a lot of y'all are worry warts. Period. All right. Y'all worry about things y'all shouldn't even be worrying about. Y'all worry about the small details. That's all Mercury energy, but it's just child, what can you do about it? Except tap into spirit. Talk to your angels. Communicate with your angels. Right? As they say in the church, leave it on the altar. Right? The Kinky Witch says, yep, I pray at my altar every day. Exactly. The Kinky Witch says, Geminis are very adaptable and we flow with life. Always looking for the next solution. Exactly. Black Love says, oh my God, I'm my own worst enemy. I worry about everything. Yeah. Sometimes you literally have to give it up to God, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your deities, stuff like that. The small details, exactly. So happy Gemini season, everyone. It's interesting that we're entering this Gemini season during a Mercury retrograde. Also, we just had an eclipse, I believe, maybe a week ago. So, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like May came and went. I mean, I feel like just yesterday I woke up and it was May, early May. And now it's almost May 31st. I'm like, oh my God, what the world is moving too fast for me. All right. But also, I think a big theme, particularly during this Gemini season in 2022, is what is Spirit communicating to you specifically? Are you paying attention to the dreams, the symbolism, the signs, the symbols that Spirit is giving to you? I think we've had a lot of spiritual activity lately. I think we're continuing to have a lot of spiritual activity. I think moving forward, we're going to continue to have a lot of spiritual activity. By the way, if you're on my Patreon, a new video is coming soon. That's very exciting. I haven't filmed it yet, but it's a very exciting topic. All right, so check out my Patreon if you want to know the future of this earth that we're on right now and what lies ahead. All right. What is the earth communicating to you? Because I think the earth is communicating to us as well, in a lot of ways. I think the earth is communicating to us through the weather. I don't know about you, but I mean, in Virginia, the weather is naturally a bit bipolar. No shade to my bipolar people out there, but the weather can be very moody here. What can I say, right? So the weather can be very moody here, but there's something about the weather particularly where it's been moodier than usual. And I always say, y'all know who have been following me for a while, y'all know I say, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, alright? I always say that I think there's something about the weather being affected and the aliens, like extraterrestrial activity. And what just happened a few days ago? But Congress or something like that communicated to us that they're acknowledging that there is UFO activity. Isn't that interesting that that information, Gemini, Mercury is information. Isn't it interesting that that information came out on the cusp of Gemini season? I've been hearing so much about the aliens, y'all. The overthinking with Gemini placements can be really hard. Yes, I trust me, I know. Yes, the Scorpio lunar eclipse kicked my butt. Yes, we time jumped with these last two eclipses. Yeah. Black Love says, "Well, I know change is coming. I can sense it. I live in the ATL. The weather here is always bipolar." Right. There's something about the South. I don't know. Like maybe it's us that live in the South or consider the South. Um, I don't know what it is about the South, honey, but our weather is just a hot mess lately. All right, but we have to think: what is the weather trying to communicate to us? Like, once again, what is Earth trying to communicate to us with the weather? What do we need to change about ourselves, our humanity, our daily routines, our approach to our health? Y'all know I have been saying for a while that we need to move to a more plant-based diet. I am proud to say that I've been doing quite well with that. Um, I'm actually gonna make some tofu and maybe some tater tots after this. I'm obsessed with tofu, by the way. But you know why I'm obsessed with tofu? It's not just because you can flavor it to taste good and you can pair it with basically any dish. A tofu salad with some plantain chips crumpled up on top. Child, don't get my mouth watering, honey. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. So good. And you have to pan fry the tofu just right so it's still a little bit soft, but it's a little bit brown. It's so good. Anyways, what was I talking about? Hold on. See, I got myself hungry. I haven't eaten today. I've just been drinking this green drink. So let me backtrack and get my mind right. Hold on. Ooh, child. I was talking about health and what is your body communicating to you? What is Earth communicating to you? Eating a more plant-based diet, and why I love tofu. Yes, I'm back. Okay, so one of the reasons why I love tofu is not just because you can flavor the taste, alright? It's because of what I have learned about tofu. The research I've done about tofu, right? Because I don't know, for me, it could just be my Virgo rising. It probably is. Once again, Virgo's ruled by Mercury, Gemini's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is an information-based planet, right? So I like to learn. I like to know stuff. I like to, if I'm eating something and it tastes good, I want to know not just the ingredients in it. I'm looking at the back of the thing and looking at the ingredients and the calories and the this and the that. I also want to know who produces it. What's the history behind the people that produce it, and where do they produce it? That's me. That's Mercury energy. That's Gemini, right? So one of the reasons why I love tofu, I've learned to love tofu, is that because, once again, there's history behind tofu. Did you know that tofu was created in, I think thousands and thousands of years ago? Connected, I think, to China or Japan, something like that. But it was made by mistake, right? Someone was curdling, I think, soybean milk, and they put too much seaweed in it or something like that, and it turned into soy or tofu as we know it. But tofu has a lot of health benefits. There's also a lot of misleading information out there about tofu, right? Which is Gemini, all right? Mercury, information, misleading information, and non-misleading information. And being able to wad between, the muck of it all, right? One of the things that we learn in college, in school, Gemini, once again, Mercury, is how to, I forgot what it's called now, but we learn how to assess proper citations or proper research, history. There's a word for it. I can't think of it right now. We learn how to assess proper inspiration. Do you guys know what I'm the word for it? Like when you're writing a paper and you're pulling from different sources, that's what it is. We know how to assess proper sources. That's the word. Thank you, Spirit. We know how to assess proper sources. I don't know about you all, but that's one thing I learned in school, and not just in college. I learned that like in middle school. They taught us how to assess proper sources in middle school, right? The Kinky Witch says exactly. Sourcing relevant data sources. Exactly. The Kinky Witch says similar to Gemini's, knowledge is power, and those who know how to get control and those who know gets to control in what is communicated. Exactly. The media, for example, is a powerful source of communication. Just before I came live just now, I was watching old advertising, old commercials from the 90s and the 80s. And it was so interesting to see how like certain things could kind of still like be relevant to today, but then how some things were very outdated. It's like, that doesn't necessarily, like, I can't see that being in 2022, but I could totally see that being in 2022. Or there were certain things like where I was like, I still use that in 2022, right? So it's all information, it's all communication, it's all knowledge. But we live in an era, in a world where knowledge is in the palm of our hands. Right? We have knowledge in the palm of our hands. Right? So back to tofu. One thing about tofu, one misleading information about tofu is that it has a lot of estrogen, and soy is bad for you because it has too much estrogen and blah 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 blah. But I learned that that's not necessarily true, that there's something about soy and tofu where it can actually block certain things connected to estrogen, and it has a lot of protein and nutritional benefits to it. And for me personally, I am lactose intolerant, which means I can't drink milk. All right. It's interesting because I love cheese. I eat ice cream occasionally, but I can't drink milk by itself. God forbid I do that. But if I eat cheese, if I eat ice cream, I'm good, right? But there's something I'm learning about my body and the communication with my body. I'm learning that I don't think my body likes cow milk. That's just me. Now, because as I'm a Virgo rising, I pay attention to my body and when it's communicating to me. When I eat too much dairy, usually I get congested, usually I get bloated, usually I get inflammation, right? So what I'm learning is that for me, my body likes soy. My body likes soy milk. I don't drink it a lot. But in replacement of lactose and cow milk, I'm going to choose soy. Or one thing I love is goat milk. Goat cheese. Have you ever tried goat cheese? Goat cheese tastes so good. On some crackers, so good. High vibrations on Facebook and Instagram. My rising is Gemini. I'm going to focus on forgiving myself this Gemini season and on forgiving receiving love. Yes, you drink cat milk. I didn't even know cats produce milk, but I guess that makes sense because when a cat gives birth, the kittens, I think, suckle on the mom's, I don't know what you would call them for cats, but you know what I mean, right? So it's interesting, we live in an information society. We live in an information world. Information is at the tips of your fingertips for most people. Alright? Most people have a smartphone. Heck, most people have two smartphones, right? I have two smartphones. One, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make a joke. One for personal, one for business, alright? Most people have a tablet. Most people have a computer. I'm streaming right now on my computer, right? All of these things you can get information from. But also one amazing thing about like the world we live in is that you can also connect with people all over the world via a phone, a tablet, a computer, right? So are you really taking full advantage of that? I have so many readings with clients. Where, you know, the energy comes up of like, take advantage of the internet. whether it comes to dating, business, whether it comes to your professional, destiny, what you hope to achieve, or whether it just comes to connecting with people and finding your place in the world. Don't underestimate social media, the internet, um, apps and stuff like that. This world we live in, it's so easy to connect and find information and communicate and create, right? That's all Gemini energy. And there's so many different ways to communicate. You can communicate through words, through music, through sound, through art, through pictures, through photography, right? So one thing I love about Gemini season is that all possibilities are possible. Sorry, my window's open. It's a nice day here in Virginia, ironically. All possibilities are endless during Gemini season. Nothing is impossible. One thing I love about Geminis is that Geminis can adapt to any situation. It's also one thing I kind of envy. It's not like a bad envy, like, oh, I want to be them, but it's just kind of like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could just kind of adapt and, but for me, like, I don't know, I just don't have a lot of Gemini energy in my chart. I have Virgo rising, and a couple other Virgo placements, but Virgo is different from Gemini. There's only one Gemini, right? So, child, what do y'all think so far about Gemini season? I know it's difficult because we are in a Mercury retrograde, and this Mercury retrograde is kicking butt. I don't know about you, but it's kicking my butt. But I've been lighting my candles, honey. All right, I've been doing my connecting with my spirit guides and ancestors, and I'm doing okay because I haven't forgotten that connection with my spirit guides and ancestors, right? Black Love says I have more Earth placements in my chart. Yeah. Vibration says I'm chilling. I love that. The Kinky Witch says I'm actually listening to what Mercury is saying. Exactly. I'll give you a good example. Yesterday, or it was a couple of days ago, I think I woke up from a nap. Or I woke up early in the morning. This morning, for example, I woke up, I think I went to bed last night at like 8 p.m. Child, this morning I woke up at like 1 a.m. And I felt really refreshed and regenerized, and like, I was like, oh wow, I feel like I got a full night's rest. So from 1 a.m. to like, I don't know, like 3 or 4, I cleaned my apartment, then I went to the gym. I came back to my apartment. I think maybe I like did some things around the apartment, took a nap. Here I am again, right? So it's like, trust your body, right? But there was a couple days ago I was cleaning. And you know how like when you cook food and sometimes food gets like really stuck, especially when you're cooking something like liquidy, it gets stuck on the pan or the Teflon or whatever it is you're using. And so you really need something kind of like a little bit more abrasive to get it off. Well, like, usually I have like a scrubber, but I couldn't find my freaking scrubber. So I was like, where is my scrubber? Did Spirit hide it somewhere? Like, did I put it somewhere when I wasn't thinking? So I spent like 15 minutes like trying to like scrub something off of a Teflon wok I have. And it wouldn't come off, and I was like, crap, I need to go get a scrubber. I need to find the scrubber I had, but I couldn't find the scrubber I had. So then, like, maybe, like, right before I decided to give up, and I was like, child, if I don't find this scrubber, I'm going to just go to the nearest store, because it was, like, 2 a.m. I was like, I'm just going to go to the nearest 24-hour store and go get a scrubber when I can. Like, right before I gave up, something told me to check the trash can. Child. Luckily, I had just gotten rid of the trash, so it was kind of fresh trash. But something told me to check the trash can for some reason. I was like, why would it be in the trash can? But okay, Spirit. Once again, Spirit communicating with me. I checked the trash can, and where do you think the scrubber was, you guys? The scrubber was in the trash can. Now, I could have been really messy and really dirty because no one was really watching. Fonzie wasn't watching me. No one was really seeing what was going on except Spirit, right? So I could have, it was like right at the top. So it wasn't like anything was like too, like it got into anything too messy. So I could have taken it and used it again. But then something came over me and I was like, wait. There's something symbolic about this situation. I was like, if this is in the trash can, and I don't necessarily remember putting it in the trash can or how it got there, maybe it's in the trash can for a reason. You know how sometimes you use those scrubbers over and over and over again to the point that you don't really know how much like germs and stuff it's garnering, and you know we live in a COVID world, right, child? So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it in the trash can. And I'm going to go buy a new scrubber. Because I feel like this is Spirit communicating with me that it's time to buy a new scrubber. So I took my merry happy butt right on away and drove to the nearest not the gas station. Did I go to the gas station? I think I went to the nearest gas station and bought a new scrubber. And that was that. Right? It's those little things, those little ways that Spirit communicates with you, and especially Mercury. Because this was a few days ago, so we were still in Mercury retrograde, fresh in Mercury retrograde. So I was like, no, I feel like Spirit and Mercury is communicating something to me right now, that this probably is a dirty scrubber, and I need a new one. So, trust Spirit always, alright? Who knows if I had been dumb enough to take it out the trash and used it? Child, I don't even want to know. Alright? So that was just a really messy example, but also an example of trust your gut. Alright? And pay attention to the signs, the symbols, and the messages that Spirit is giving you. Hi, J. Manuel. How are you? Thank you for being here. Coley says, I have been seeing 555 everywhere for the past 2 weeks. Well, it's interesting that because 5 is the number of Mercury. 5 is, Mercury communication, intellect, the mind. It's also health, your approach to your health, your approach to your daily routine. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. That breaks down to the number 6. So that is Venus. The number 6 is ruled by Venus. So there could also be something connected to maybe relationships, money, abundance, stability, something like that, that you need to pay attention to, seeing 555. So, but I say all that to say, pay attention during Mercury season to how, especially during Gemini or during Mercury retrograde, alright? Mercury retrograde is Gemini energy. It's Virgo energy. Alright? So, remember that Mercury is always about communication. So, what is Mercury during a Mercury retrograde trying to teach you that you need to work on? That you need to refine? I always say that Mercury retrograde shows you your blind spots. So, whenever I do like a birth chart reading and someone has Mercury retrograde in my chart, I always say, it can be a difficult placement, particularly in expressing yourself, processing information, conceptualizing ideas, stuff like that. But when a Mercury retrograde actually comes around and you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, it's a breeze for you. You get it on some level, right? That ultimately a Mercury retrograde is trying to show you your blind spots and what you need to work on and pay attention to. Because what you don't work on and pay attention to and refine and perfect during a Mercury retrograde, it's going to come around during the next Mercury retrograde and maybe worse. Alright? So if you haven't learned to pay attention to the signs and the symbols and Spirit communicating with you that you need to, pay more attention to your car and take better care of your car. Maybe every Mercury retrograde, the check engine light comes on. There's always some issue. Maybe what is Mercury trying to teach you there? Either it's time for a new car or you need to take better care of your car and pay more attention to your car. Maybe every Mercury retrograde you have some issues with health. You need to pay attention or make a change regards to your health. Right? Mercury is always here to teach you something during a retrograde. It can be frustrating, it can be annoying. Sometimes it can be so small and minute, but Mercury has a way of making it like a big thing. It's like, really? You could have just told me that you wanted me to slow down on the road instead of causing me to get into a car crash, during Mercury retrograde. Really, Mercury? Like, it's that kind of energy. But you have to look back at, like, well, maybe has Mercury or Spirit been trying to communicate with you for a while now that you need to slow down, and maybe it was during the Mercury retrograde that the energies were just right, that, bam, like, luckily you were okay, the other person was okay, but still, did you learn the lesson? That's, oh my god. Mercury retrograde is like Sunday school, exactly. I need a deeper look into my birth chart and just a reading, period. Yes. If you guys want a reading, that's actually a good segue. Thank you, Vibrations. If you want a reading, my website is lamarrtownsendtarot.com. This is my website, so once you've reached this page, you know you're on the right page. Definitely follow me on my Twitch where I do monthly horoscope readings. Of course, subscribe, like, share to my YouTube, become a member. Become a member of my Patreon as well, and check out my podcast on Spotify, Google, Anchor, and more. Scroll down, check out the reviews from people who have verified purchase readings from me. And then, of course, follow me on my Instagram and Facebook where I post a lot of different things. I like to post a lot of the foods I make, so, check that out. If you would like a reading, I do quite a lot of different types of readings. I do birth chart readings. I do mediumship readings if you want to hear messages from those who have passed on or hear messages from your spirit guides or ancestors. I do past life readings if you want to learn about your past lives. I do email psychic tarot readings, video recorded psychic tarot readings, phone psychic tarot readings. I do classes. I do spiritual development classes if you just want to develop your spirituality and your gifts and learn more about how to protect yourself and protect your energy and stuff like that. My god. I also do astrology classes. I also do tarot classes. I also do dream interpretation readings. If you ever wake up from a dream and are like, what the heck did that mean? Contact me for a reading on my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. But like I said, I also do a lot of candles as well. I sell African black soap. A lot of you are always asking me. My skin is always glowing and stuff like that, and it's partly due to this. It's partly due to good genes, but also African black soap. Lamarr says, oh my god, Black Love says, Lamarr, what does it mean if you have 5 retrograde planets in your birth chart? It would depend on what those planets are, but a lot of lessons for you to refine and perfect. Alright, that's what that would mean. J. Manuel says, ex-friends always pop back up and I refuse to allow them back in. Exactly, yes. I've had quite a few exes pop up. Sometimes with exes, depending on the context of your relationship, it can be kind of tempting. So I can't blame anyone for, an ex popping up and them giving in during a Mercury retrograde, child. But once again, are you learning the lessons? That's what it's all about. It will give you all your spiritual lessons. Lamarr, I'm going to reschedule a birthday reading with you. Yes, the Kinky Witch, I'm available. I actually just got done doing an hour reading, recorded reading, so I'm getting through my list. By the way, what time is it? Child? Oh my god, it's already 3 o'clock. Oh my god, you guys, I can't believe it. Wow, okay. The day's going by really fast. So, yesterday or 2 days ago, I did a reading on Tracy Brown Lives, or Tracy Brown's YouTube channel, about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I think it ends in a week. So I think yesterday we did a reading on my channel. So if you haven't checked out that video, check out the video we did on Catherine Arnold and Amber Heard. Today, I think a little bit later, I think I'm going to do another video on Tracy's channel. So check that out for maybe a surprise. But at the very least, go check out Tracy's channel because we did do a psychic tarot reading a couple days ago on her channel about Amber Heard and the whole situation. So check that out. I'm doing that a bit later. I have a couple more readings to get through, and then my books are pretty much clear. So if you want a reading, if you want a phone reading, a psychic reading, phone readings do have same day priority. So if you get a reading, depending on what time you buy your reading, child, if you buy your reading at 10 p.m., you're probably going to have to wait the next day, you know, depending on if I'm up or not. Especially if you buy your reading at 12 a.m., you're going to have to wait the next day, right? But if you buy your reading at like maybe like 1 like maybe early in the morning or like 1 p.m., I can probably fit you in that day, right? Otherwise, if you buy any different type of reading, it's usually 1 to 3 days or less, depending on how busy I am. I've been kind of busy lately, but I've been getting through my reading, so that's that on that. Um, I don't know, you guys. I feel like I've said all I needed to say about Gemini season. Thank you, Coley, for your donation. Thank you for your Canadian donation of $10. Just saying thank you, thank you. What other things do you have about Gemini season? What questions do you guys have? Because I'm getting hungry. I'm ready to make my tofu. Actually, I need to go thaw my tofu out, you guys. Give me a second. Let me go get my tofu thawed out. Give me a second, everyone. What are you guys having for lunch? I think for lunch I'm gonna make tater tots. I like frying the tater tots frozen in a little bit of hot olive oil. Otherwise, I like baking them, but baking them can get boring after a while. It's good to pan fry them in probably a non-stick pan if you have one. Um, and I think I'm gonna make some tofu. Either I'm just gonna eat the tofu and dip it in sauce, or mix it with some sauce. I'm not sure. It's already actually seasoned, I think, and then maybe a vegan chicken sandwich. I'm not sure. I'm really hungry. Like, and I went to the gym this morning, so I have the calories to eat, but it's also all vegan, so it's not really that many calories. I'm getting myself hungry, you guys. Let me just calm down. Anyways, back to Gemini season. It's hot Gemini season, y'all. Exactly, the kinky witch. So that is a good point. During Gemini, hi, the pretty bound girl. Thank you for being here. During Gemini season, it is, you know, a season where typically there's a lot going on, I find, during the months of May and June. There's a lot being thrown at us. And when it comes to communication, we also have to be mindful of what is subliminally, there we go. What is subliminally being communicated to us? Right? Ooh, vibration says I had baked honey beans. My taste buds keep changing. I really don't want to eat. I know, right? It's weird. Like, I only eat one meal a day. Otherwise, I just drink, like, this green drink, you know? It's like, I feel like my, like, diet is changing. I feel like we're evolving and shifting. There's a lot going on. But baked honey beans sounds so good. My great-grandfather used to make the best beans. but also he made the best chili. Man, if I could go back and taste my great grandfather's chili or get his recipe, child, man. But anyways, yes, during Gemini season, there's a lot going on. Typically, if, for example, we just had that horrible tragedy happen in Texas with the shooter, and that horrible situation. But we have to also, like, what is subliminally, like, and I've heard of a lot of people kind of tapping into this energy of, like, the subliminals about it. But what is that subliminally telling us? Of course, yes, we could get into gun laws and this and that, but that's like, let's look a little bit deeper. And that's where we get into the opposite of Gemini, which is Sagittarius, right? What's the truth of the situation? Because it's so easy for us as a society, as an American people, particularly to adapt to, new circumstances. George Floyd happened, we adapted to that. We learned, we protested, we outraged, and then we kind of learned to adapt. This shooting happened in Texas, and, is the same thing going to happen? Or are we going to make changes? Are we going to get the information out there? Are people going to actually start speaking out and using their voice, their platforms, that Mercury energy, to make change? Gemini season of information. So the best way to fight, if we want to call it that, or battle, right, is with information during a Gemini season. Because one thing, and now a Gemini may be able to fight, I don't know, I can't speak for all Geminis out there. My auntie's a Gemini and my mom's a Gemini, and I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't want to fight them, okay? Period. And my brother. Okay? But one thing about Geminis is that they're good at fighting with their words, right? A Gemini doesn't need to bring out a weapon or pull out their hand like Will Smith did to Chris Rock. A Gemini can get you with their words, right? Their information. So words and information can be a weapon. Did you know that? The Kinky Witch says yes, and don't listen to anything that makes you go, what? Protect your energy. Exactly. Pretty Brown Girl says, I'm so sick of hearing about these shootings, but I don't think this is the end. Unfortunately, I may have to agree. Actually, it's not that I may have to agree. I agree with everything you said, actually. I'm sick of hearing about it, but I don't think it's the end, unfortunately. Change needs to happen. The Kinky Witch says yes, and if you're magical inclined, how can you fight for positive changes? Yes. The Kinky Witch says verbally and physically, exactly, Lamarr. We are the Queen of Swords. Exactly. The King and Queen of Swords is Gemini. So we have to learn, one thing we have to learn from Gemini and Gemini season and energy is how to fight with our words. How to fight with our intellect. One thing I like about Geminis is that, they will write a letter. They will, figure out petitions. They will figure out a way, to contact the council and the city officials and the this and the that they need to get change. A Gemini is not afraid to go up to the school and talk to the teacher because their child is getting bullied or something like that. We have to use our words. We have to use our intellect. We have to use our words and our intellect. Right? Coley says too many people have their hands in the NRA's pocket. Yes. Things won't change because of money and greed. So true. We have to just focus on taking care of our communities. Exactly. And educating our communities. Remember, Gemini is about education. Now, it may be education from young childhood, grade, in the United States, I think it's grades K-12 through grade 12 or something like that. It's basically elementary school to high school, right? How are we educating our children? I think that the recent shooter that we had in Texas, he was 18, right? What was he being taught? Who was educating him? What education, what communication was going on with him in the home and outside the home? And I'm talking about, like, the conversations he was having at the family table with his family, while eating dinner or lunch. Do people still do that? Because when I was growing up, that was something I did. We had dinner together. Did we always have dinner together? No, but, like, it definitely was a thing, right? What was he looking up on his hello? What was he looking up on his phone? On his computer, on his tablet? Right? We need to pay attention to all these things. We, like, focus so much on, like, what people show and what people project, but, like, the little details matter. And Geminis are good at picking up on that, right? The little details. Well, if we look back at his internet history log, we can see that he looked at this and that and that and this, so, we need to start, like, paying attention to those types of things. Vibration says, nope, I do it all the time. Don't mess with my family. Exactly. The Kinky Witch says, and don't forget we catch more flies with honey than we do with vinegar. Exactly. Sweeten those words and thoughts. Manifestations require us to believe in the changes we want to see. Yes. Coley says, absolutely, loneliness is an epidemic. We need to return to love. Yes. Chromatica's Rebel 2 says, Gemini season is starting out strong here. Gemini, Scorpio, Gemini Sun, Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising. Yes, I love that combination. I love your name, by the way. I'm interested to see how Lady Gaga's Chromatica Ball, which I'm assuming your name is in reference to, is going to be. I always say one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. And I've seen a lot of people. Y'all, I've seen Beyonce by herself. I've seen Beyonce with Destiny's Child at the, like, height of their career in the 2000. I have seen Pink. I have seen Jay-Z. I have seen Mary J. Blige numerous times. I have seen Brandy. I have seen Lana Del Rey. I have seen, who else have I seen? Miley Cyrus. I've seen quite a few people. The number one best concert I have ever been to in my life, and I stand by it today in 2022. The number one concert I've ever been to, the number one best concert I've ever been to in my life is Lady Gaga in 2014 or 2013, the Art Pop Ball. That woman knows how to put on a show. Alright? So fun. So, I love her, and I hope the Chromatica Ball is a good tour. But the best concert I've ever been to is Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga for sure. The Kinky Witch says exactly the little details. Gemini can suss out any and all minute discrepancies. Exactly. Yes. Alright, you all. I feel like we've said everything we needed to say about Gemini season. I'm hungry. And I am going to go make some food. Alright. I hope you all enjoyed this little talk that we had about Gemini season. If you would like a reading, once again, my website is lamarrtownsendtarot.com right here. Violet Star says some people are focusing on him being Latino and not focusing on the bigger picture. Wait, who? Who are we talking about? Him being Latino and not the bigger picture. Who's Latino? I forgot who we were talking about. Remind me who you're talking about, Violet Star. Late to the party, have a lovely lunch. Thank you, Magical Mermaid. Chromatica's Rebel 2 says, I've never seen Gaga in person, but I have seen her tours here on YouTube. She's such a phenomenal person. Yes, she is. Yeah. It was a really fun show. I have a picture of her pointing at me. I wonder if I can pull up that picture. I have a picture of her pointing at me. Do you guys want to see a picture of Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga pointing at me? I don't even know if I can. This is gonna take a while. Cause I don't even know if I still have the pictures in my file. I'm gonna have to go on my Instagram. But yeah, I have a picture of Lady Gaga pointing down at me. I actually have a couple pictures of her. But Texas shooter. Oh, he was Latino. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was Latino. Exactly. The Texas shooter. I don't even think I mentioned that. You're right. People aren't focusing on the bigger picture because I don't even think I mentioned that he was Latino. I don't think that was important. What was important is what is he being taught? Like why? Like what brought him to that moment? You know. Let me show you guys this picture. I feel good. I walk along. Oh, look at this picture. This is a really good picture. Oh. I don't know when I took that, but I don't know. I like that picture. Anyway, let me keep scrolling. Sorry. Oh, my doggy. I miss him. Not with me going down memory lane, y'all. Okay, hold on. Oh my god, I missed that plant. I forgot I used to have that plant. Would love for you to do a reading on American Summer 2022. Well, by the way, if you guys are members of my Patreon, there will be a new video coming today on my Patreon. So become a member of my Patreon. It's kind of similar to that topic. Oh, it was 333. Back when I used to have dreadlocks. Ciao. Oh, I look cute in this picture. Look at me. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I have so many dang pictures on here. Dang. My Instagram is lit. Oh no, it's like not working. Oh crap. Alright. Oh my god, this is like, this is such a Mercury retrograde moment. Sometimes you gotta dig for the information, child. Aliyah. Oh no. Okay. We're back where I need to be. Oh, that's Mary J. Blige. This is Mary J. Blige. Let me see if I can, like, let me see if I can just do this. This is probably easier. This is Mary J. Blige. But I have a picture of Gaga. This is a picture I took of her. Mary J. Blige. This is when I saw her live. I think we were front row. This is me and my mom a couple years ago. Let's see. This is Miley Cyrus. I think that's when she hosted the MTV Music Awards or something like that. This is Lana Del Rey. I think I have a picture of Lana looking at me too. Hold on. She's like looking in my direction there. I guess my phone was like pointed up. This was a couple years ago. And then Gaga, here she is. Oh, I don't have the picture of her pointing at me. But she's looking down at me. This is Gaga. And then this is her again. And then this is Brandy. And then this is me in high school. Can I get back to this body, please? Anyway, that was fun, you guys. Yeah, like, this is my old room in college. This was my dorm room in college. Look at all that random art that I made on the I wish I still had this picture right here. I don't know what I did with this picture. Oops, I didn't mean to like it, but I still have that right there. The 100 picture, I have that actually in my apartment. Anyways, it's so cool to go back in like time. You know, I don't know, that was fun. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Let me try and like get this recalibrated. Chat, okay. So thank you all for being here. This was fun. I think we've almost basically reached the 1 hour mark. So, you know, this is good. Thank you all for being here. Coley says, the quote I have on my wall for Gemini season will be, you are not hard to love, because we gems can feel crazy a lot of the time. Love yourself through the craziness, y'all. Exactly. I love Mary J. and Gaga. Yes, me too. Alright, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Happy Gemini season. Love and light. Remember, if you want a reading, I am available on my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in your own personal reading. Either way, I'll see you soon. God bless.